What's up, guys? It's your boy DopeRandy back at it again with another episode of the F1 24 career mode. As this time, we're gonna go do probably the most famous race, the most luxurious race, not only on the F1 calendar, but probably the most luxurious race in the entire world of motorsport. Before we do that, though, if you missed the last episode, highly recommend you watch it. We got our first podium, not only of Dortmund Autosport, but for my driver, DopeRandy, as well. We got a P3. Could have been P2, but it was a 3-second time penalty. Gave Lando Norris a P2 and myself a P3. I kind of failed to mention this, but you can't be sad or depressed or feeling gloomy about the situation. I would take a P3 in a heartbeat. That is a fantastic result for us. You love to see it. We've moved up into We moved up into the top 10 in the driver standings. I forgot to mention that. We moved ahead of Gasly. We actually moved ahead of... No, we was ahead of Stroll. We moved up ahead of Gasly and Alonso to move up into P9 in the drivers. And we closed the gap to the Alpines in the constructors. So maybe, just maybe, just maybe we can catch those guys. But before we get to... So that was last race. Before we get to Monaco, we got some money here we can
spend. I don't think we can change that. I can just go ahead and do this. I probably should have been doing this the whole time. Probably should have been doing that the whole time, but here we are nonetheless. And 25.95 of resource points. I think I know what I'm going to do, but I just want to make sure. Yeah, it's still really bad in terms of the chassis. What's going to give us the biggest jump? That's fine. The engine cover, it shall be. I went along with second. Went along with first in the powertrain. It is what it is. Alright, that's fine.
Alright. Let's rock and roll.
We're in a position now where we're able to attract a new sponsor to the team.
Yeah.
Go over to the corporate tab and select the sponsor screen to choose who we should approach.
We'll do that at the end. Or actually, we should probably do that now, shouldn't we? Wait, what? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. But Monaco. Let's get it. And here we are. Here we are for qualifying from Monaco. One of the most famous tracks in the world, for that matter. And on top of that, this is probably the most important qualifying session. Yeah, this is probably...
We've been pushed down to P22.
Yeah, this is probably by far the most important qualifying session of the season, as I just smacked...
Be careful with the front wing, you've taken some minor damage.
Yep, and that's been the weekend, but this track is so hard to pass. Everybody knows the lack of passing here. You basically finish where you qualify, at least that's what I've been told. So we have to go for it. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know where this is going to be. Obviously, hitting the wall is not a good way to start. I hit that wall and got me in the track limits. That felt really good. Cut it just a little too much and been down I mean, I don't know where this is going to be, to be honest. Oh, I'll take 5th. And there it is.
Returns to Monte Carlo once again today, home to the world-famous Monte Carlo Casino that first opened in 1863. And of course, a certain road race first held in 1929.
Look at all them boats.
An occasion, no more valuable a win than the Monaco Grand Prix.
Yeah.
The astonishing Circuit de Monaco is, for all intents and purposes, virtually unchanged since its inaugural race back in 1929. The faster cars of today ensure the 19 corners past the casino and along the seafront remain as thrilling as ever. A 2.1-mile lap here takes us around an entire country, yet never more than inches from the race-ending barriers.
You ain't wrong, Neil.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. It's
Oh, hell.
Sainz in pole position.
You got the two Ferraris on the...
Looking at the
Oh,
rest of
hell.
today's grid,
We have...
Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Verstappen, the governor,
Yeah.
Gasly, Perez, Norris, Sonoda, Magnussen, Ocon, Hulkenberg, Albon, Stroll, Oscar Piastri, Hauger, Joe, Sargent, Bottas, and Ollie Behrman. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
Hopefully me.
And alongside me today, a man...
But, alas...
Right, this track needs a lot of downforce, so it won't have as much top speed.
No, we do not need tap, buddy. Alright. We do not need the top speed. But yeah, P6. We fell back a spot. We fell back a spot, but still, P6 is really good.
Pull away. You'll have a bit more grip than that on the start, but we need to warm the tyres properly now. Make sure you get some heat into the brakes as well.
And like I was saying in the qualifying session, with the extremely difficult tactics you have to employ to pass here, P6 is a really good spot to be for us, considering the circumstances. Like, yeah, I will take what you can get, and and you can just see there was.
Radar is clear. Weather is looking good for now.
The radar is looking good for now. Hopefully it stays like that. But man, we just gotta survive this race. This is the most enduring race in the season, the most challenging, the most difficult, and like I said, the most enduring. Not only on the driver, but also on our race car, the Dortmund Autosport car as well. Everything will be... Oh, Verstappen just hit the wall. Verstappen just hit the wall. And that was a pretty good little lick on the formation lap. Oh, boy. You see what I mean?
Parking there, mate. Let's make sure we get the edge on the surrounding drivers as the lights go out.
That was literally...
Okay, so that's the rest of the grid forming
that's
up now. Be
what you
patient.
gotta do.
Watch for those lights.
As everyone gets put into position. Here we go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and away we go. And Verstappen gets a launch off that start, even though he did just smack that wall. And him and Lewis Hamilton are side by side. That's sketchy. And they're side by side behind me as well with Gasly and George Russell. They're still side by side. Oh, this is about to get really sketchy. Especially behind when they're side by side like this. Oh. And that's a caution. But that was just because everyone was so bunched up together. One of the most iconic turns.
Good job.
We get through one of the most iconic starts in motorsport. unscathed. And that Russell appeals. Yeah, George Russell is clear of Gasly. Yeah, George has gotten clear of Gasly. So I am in the middle of the Mercedes sandwich at the moment.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
And now we can just try to maintain a rhythm. Gonna be... And I mean, look, for all intent and purpose, this is nothing like Imola our last race, where we did have our best finish and our best showing, really. Oh, I nicked it.
Look out for a bit of understeer when trailing the car ahead. They're going to be giving off dirty air, which is going to affect our tyres, so try to get past.
Yeah, I can try to get past, but your problem is, this is probably the most difficult track in all of motorsport to pass. So, good luck with that. As I hop over the cold. Oh, I hit it. I did what Verstappen just did, but to a lesser degree. I will say, yeah, George Russell is flying. Like, he has pulled he's up almost a second and a half up on Gasly. And he's kind of running me down. And I'm just kind of keeping neutral with Lewis Hamilton. Like I said, as you can see, it is 39 laps. Yeah, I think George is the fastest car on the track. Well, I say that. So I hop over the curb again. Damn it. That is not what we needed.
Damage to your front wing.
Oh, this thing's cooked.
Suggest we box to change it.
Oh.
That looked bad. You're right. No, you're okay.
Did that really just fucking happen? So, what the fuck? What happened here? It started when I did that. Well, I won't show it, but it started when that happened. And then I do that. And then it did not fucking turn. And then... Well, son of a bitch. Let me just see that again. I just have to see that again. I'm not using a flashback. That wouldn't be fair. That would not be fair. Hit this wall. And then the wing is cooked. You can see it caved in. And then this thing just did not turn right there. Hit the wall. And then it just... Yeah. It just turned me straight into that. Do I have the onboard? Because you can see that's... Yeah, that tire was flat. The right front tire was flat. And then... Bam. That sucks. That is literally like the one thing we could not do. is that? Well, I don't know. I mean, hey, we got failed in the last race at Imola, and I was just saying, so who won? I figured that.
King Charles today.
I figured it'd be Leclerc.
Ferrari are at
So that didn't last long. So what happened?
like that, who knows what the sport has in store.
Yeah, George Russell got up to
Be
second.
sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.
It had some. It had some change, I'll say that. But yeah, that sucks. It is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. So now,
The team's income is looking very robust right now. It's time for you to have a think about our profit margin and what areas of
the aerodynamics department,
from that money.
the investment was absolutely worth it. In the department are hugely excited by the possibilities of the new tech will bring. Hell yeah, it's up 20%. Hell yeah. So, well, that's a little annoying. But I mean, as you can see here, we've done, what, 8 races now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 8 races up to this point. Let's see. Last year we only had 15 points. This season we've tripled it. In a third of the season we've already tripled that. So this season's been even with that wreck, I mean, yeah, even with that wreck, it's been a good season for us. Got 46 points, P10 in the drivers. Bamman is still awful, but that's to be expected with our program. Leclerc is pulling away from the drivers' standings. And Ferrari, again, is pulling away from the packing the constructors as well. I mean, and that was our first DNF of the season, too. It sucks, but what can you do? And that just goes back to what I was saying. One wrong turn at a track so unforgiving like Monaco. One wrong turn can bust up your wing, and then it doesn't turn, leads to a puncture, and then the puncture leads to just all hell breaking loose. It is. I mean, it sucks, but what can that's just a racing deal. But we'll be okay. So our next race is in Canada. It's in Canada. And I will see y'all for that. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Sorry about the result, guys, but I guess I had one coming. Y'all have a good one. And peace out, guys.